one of the things I got from the film was that veganism and the knowledge that we're not killing anyone to feed ourselves can actually deepen joy. And I feel like there was a lot of joy in this film that had also a lot of complex layers, and it was addressing really difficult issues, but there was a lot of joy. Can either of you speak to that?
What comes to mind immediately for me when you're talking about joy and veganism is they make their own bread. They pick their own blueberries. They make their own pie crust. Like everything has integrity of being handmade there. They make their own butter. And that was a real challenge for Selma to figure out butter that really was like an actual butter. And she is like a little food chemist and she figured it out. But that butter goes on their bread. I know, especially when I'm there eating, just the care that has been placed into the food. And these women don't hurt anyone or anything in the process. And I think it's just beautiful because you can sit down and truly enjoy your food, knowing that this has been prepared with real thought and love.
And something I want to add to that real quick is that the challenge, I mean, people who are vegan get this. It's like having food that tastes good, right? You can make it at home, but going to restaurants and finding good vegan cheese can be a challenge in itself. And so to have the intentionality and like what the integrity and what Tracy speaks on is they put that hard work into making the food. They want it to taste good for people. And Selma has done all that hard work in the background of testing, it's like a chemistry lab. I was making jokes in her kitchen. She's just like, oh my gosh, here we go, concoctions and mixing things. And then, she tries something, maybe it doesn't taste up to par, and then she switches something else and she perfects it. And so like we get to have the experience of eating it after she's already perfected it and all these people have tested it to the point where it's like, I mean, I love the food so much.
I want to just sort of address this really briefly, that they were doing this before, there were cookbooks on how to do it. I mean, that I want to put that out there for any of our listeners who are like, it's so easy to make vegan cheese, or it's so easy to make vegan butter. Like it wasn't always, and those of you who've been vegan long enough remember the dark days of vegan cheese when it all tasted like cardboard. So, uh, yeah, we needed people who were like basically scientists in the kitchen. I am not one of them. So my hat's off to everyone who was. Marianne.
Yeah, I just want to make a note, like they stayed in a certain mindset, but I used to make bread in the 70s too, which seems to me hard to believe. I really moved on in my culinary ambitions, but it is kind of what people did in the 70s. We made bread.
That's funny.
Should have stayed there. I find my bread would be so good by now.
Well, the night's still young.
So what was the process of making the movie like? What were they like to work with? I mean, I'm not going to lie. Every time I've gone to Bloodroot, which I love, I'm a little scared. I think I mentioned that before, that I'm going to do the wrong thing. I found them kind of intimidating. There were a lot of rules because they had to have rules because they wanted to do things differently than the way they were done out in the rest of the world. And then you have to have rules to guide people on how to do that. So were they like that to work with, or were they just pure joy?
I mean, I came into it in 2020, right? So as we grow older, we're all different human beings, right? So I can't speak on like how it was at Bloodroot prior to me going to Bloodroot for the first time. But I mean, they were great to work with. Like I said, I kind of look at them as the matriarch, asking them questions, so curious. I would spend all my Saturdays there, like all day, 10, 12 hours in a row, several times in a week. And I would ask them questions. And I think the parts that were challenging was they would, especially at the beginning, they would say these comments that were so amazing and beautiful, and I didn't have it recorded, or I'd asked them to record it again. And so I found little workarounds to just have them mic'd the entire time I was there, because those moments are just, they're so poignant. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And being able to learn from them and discover from them was the part that kept me coming back. And I mean, even the cooking part, like I would watch them how they made the food, so I was constantly getting information from them on a daily basis.
Mm. How did making the movie affect each of you personally?
Oh gosh, Tracy, do you want to start?
Well, I don't say guys anymore, and it really stands out whenever I hear it now. This is something from the film that Nichole has made bumper stickers for, and Selma and Nichole were big proponents of stop using the word guys. We're women, and we're not ladies, and we're not, young ladies. We're women. And so it's connected me back with my roots from Tennessee because I've started to call people y'all. And I feel like in the climate as we move forward and we're dealing with gender, questions, I think that eliminating the word guys is going to be one of those G word. It's going to be the G word, the one we don't say anymore. And I'm a huge proponent for that and the intentionality of it.
Hmm. Well, that's cool. I mean, I know anytime you do a creative project, even when you're not the focus of it, but you're doing a film about someone, for example, it affects you in long-term ways. And so my guess is it's still unfolding. And I remember when my first book came out, there was the process of writing it, and then there was the process of it being out there and kind of talking to the people at, book events and stuff like that. What has been the reception so far, and how has that felt? And also, I mean, I don't mean to double ask a question. I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I know everyone's wondering how they can watch it. So talk a little bit about how they can watch it and what the reception has been so far.
Okay, I'll answer the question about the reception so far at first. I mean, we've had so many responses, people that were excited to watch it. We get emails frequently. We have gotten into 16 film festivals. We've received 5 awards. And I just got back from the International Vegan Film Festival in Toronto. So, I mean, it's been an incredible experience. We had Alison Bechtel watch the film, and she had given us a quote. I mean, we're like constantly finding people that have found the film through someone else. And we have virtual screenings monthly. We have 2 on November 22nd and then November 23rd. So if you go to our website, culinaryuprisingfilm.com, you'll see a list of our upcoming screenings. Currently, like I said, we have the virtual screenings, and then we have one in Connecticut on December 2nd. And this whole entire year was this celebration tour. So we're at the end of our film festival circuit, and we'll continue doing screenings next year. And we like, part of our tour is like empowering people to host their own screening. If they're excited to bring the film to their community, great, let's talk about it and share this message with other people and what we can create, and empower others to create what they want to in their life. So that's a big part of it.
This may be too political, I don't know. But this film, we really want people to see it and we really want it to get out there, but also in an ethical way that's fair to the process. Because if you just sell it to Amazon Prime, it's on a website. Actually, Selma and Nichole don't like Amazon. So, you don't know who's watching it. You don't know what they thought. There's no conversation that comes from it. And you make 10 cents every 10 hours that someone watches. It's not a sustainable model. And, if you do one thing the way you do all things, I think it's important that we share this film in a way that we can sustain the film even longer.
Totally. I mean, it's like when we interview authors and we're telling people leave a review on Amazon, even if you're not buying it on Amazon. It really is helpful. And my final question for both of you before we do our bonus content is, what do you hope comes of this for the people who watch it? Like, what do you hope like a particular takeaway might be?
I hope that people take away similar to what I've taken away from the experience. You're going to hear something and it's going to make you question a thing that you're doing or a thing that you're saying, or maybe how you've treated someone. And that would be amazing if someone watched it and said, I'm going to try a little harder.